Welcome everyone. Let's dive into the fascinating world of myths, beginning with the notorious Chupacabra. Known for its alleged livestock attacks throughout Latin America, this creature piques curiosity and skepticism alike. Origin stories and eyewitness accounts intrigue us. Yet, can we distinguish fact from fiction here? More importantly, why do such myths captivate us?
The Chupacabra myth, though often dismissed, reflects deep-seated fears and cultural narratives. It reminds me of the Loch Ness Monster both capturing imaginations far beyond their initial locales. Could these stories perhaps reveal more about our collective psyche than actual sightings?
I tend to approach the Chupacabra story with skepticism. Yet, it holds a unique position as both folklore and alleged scientific curiosity. The consistency in descriptions across regions suggests something more, even if it's misunderstood wildlife. Why do we universally gravitate to these stories?
Interestingly, these myths often arise or gain traction during times of societal change or turmoil. For communities experiencing hardship, the Chupacabra might symbolize externalizing fear and searching for explanations or a form of catharsis. How does folklore serve these roles in society?
Reflecting on the origins of the Chupacabra, we should consider initial sightings in Puerto Rico during the 1990s. These stories stirred fear and intrigue. Why did they resonate so deeply and spread so rapidly across cultures? This phenomenon beckons us to explore both historical contexts and psychological underpinnings.
The timing of these sightings coincided with significant social changes in the region. Economically and politically unsettled periods often heighten reliance on folklore for explanation. It suggests an almost universal human instinct to assign blame or meaning to unexplainable events. How can this tendency be observed globally?
Despite skepticism, the Chupacabra's widespread presence in popular culture from films to video games compels us to examine why these myths endure. Is it merely superstition or a deeper need to personify our fears? The persistence across different media highlights their adaptability and timeless appeal.
Absolutely. Folklore, like that of the Chupacabra, often serves as a narrative coping mechanism during uncertainty. These stories don't just frighten sometimes, they unite communities in shared storytelling. By acknowledging such a role, we understand folklore as a vital bridge between past and present anxieties.
Diving into the descriptions of the Chupacabra, it's fascinating to see common traits emerge. Reports often describe a reptilian creature with spikes or quills along its back, eyes glinting red, and the night detail persistent across Latin America. Yet, isn't it intriguing how eyewitness accounts blend fear and imagination? How do these characteristics speak to our primal fears and the power of storytelling?
These vivid characteristics could indeed stem from deep-seated fears. The reptilian image evokes ancient, almost mythical beasts, perhaps reflecting our age-old fear of the unknown. This blend of the familiar and the monstrous seems to speak directly to our imagination's most profound corners. Could these descriptions act as a symbolic manifestation of something else altogether?
I find it noteworthy how similar these descriptions are to known animals like coyotes with mange. This raises questions about our tendency to mythologize the misunderstood or unseen. Could these characteristics merely be attempts to rationalize mysterious, unexplained phenomena? Our minds may inadvertently embellish reality, intermingling truth and fiction.
Indeed, this interplay of rationality and myth-making is captivating. Descriptions of the Chupacabra resist being fully explained by reality or fiction alone, they thrive in the in-between. This ambiguity perhaps underscores a broader human penchant for stories that transcend mundane experiences, binding communities through shared mythical narratives. How does this blend resonate with our deeper need for meaning?
Let's delve into scientific perspectives on the Chupacabra. While rooted in folklore, could science provide alternative explanations for this enduring myth? From misidentified wildlife to psychological phenomena, what lenses help demystify it? Let's uncover the layers between myth and reality.
It's fascinating how science can shed light on apparent mysteries. Many zoologists suggest that sightings might be explained by known animals suffering from disease, like the infamous example of coyotes with mange. Is it possible that science often chases what folklore creates?
I appreciate how science seeks explanations, but I wonder if it fully addresses the emotional impact of such myths. When people claim they've seen a Chupacabra, can science account for the power of belief in psychological factors, like mass hysteria? How do these elements intertwine with cultural folklore?
Indeed, science alone might not capture the whole story. The cultural and psychological dimensions of these myths are crucial. By examining the myth through a multifaceted lens, does it not reveal our shared stories, intrinsic power and complexity integral to our understanding of myth itself?
Transitioning to the cultural impact and media representation of the Chupacabra, we find it deeply woven into modern folklore and entertainment. How does its portrayal in movies and TV reshape or reinforce beliefs? What role does media play in perpetuating these myths?
The media depiction of the Chupacabra often sensationalizes the myth, blending fear with fascination. Films, especially horror genres, capitalize on its eerie legend to engage viewers. Does this amplification serve to validate the myth, or does it reveal our tendency to romanticize the terrifying?
Interestingly, media also serves a dual role, questioning and demystifying myths. Documentaries often challenge the legend by investigating its origins and veracity. How does this balance between sensationalism and skepticism affect public perception? Could it enhance critical thinking about folklore?
Our engagement with the myth through media goes beyond fear. It sparks curiosity and cultural exploration. These stories, whether faithful or exaggerated, act as mirrors reflecting societal values and fears. How do they contribute to our understanding of identity and community?
Moving forward, eyewitness accounts of the Chupacabra often range from chilling encounters to more mundane misunderstandings. These stories captivate us perhaps because they blur reality with imagination. How do such accounts shape our perceptions, and what might they reveal about the human propensity for storytelling?
Some eyewitnesses describe terrifying events with vivid detail, certainly enough to stoke fear. These tales often speak more to human psychology than to verifiable phenomena. Could it be that the need to explain the unexplainable fuels such accounts, intertwining fact and fiction?
Many accounts can be traced back to ordinary animals seen under unusual conditions. Yet the emotions evoked in telling and retelling these stories add depth. Do these narratives evolve more vividly when fear combines with creativity and belief? How does this affect our tendency to mythologize?
Indeed, these narratives become more than just stories. They're powerful tools reflecting cultural identity and collective emotion. By understanding them, we glimpse deeper societal concerns. What do ongoing Chupacabra accounts reveal about collective fears or communal bonds?
Let's explore the psychological lenses through which we view the Chupacabra. Often, our fear of the unknown transforms ordinary events into extraordinary myths. What does this reveal about how our minds work under fear and uncertainty?
The Chupacabra surely taps into our primal fears, perhaps acting as a scapegoat for societal anxieties. This creature's myth could symbolize deeper psychological stresses, manifesting as external horrors. How does this relate to broader patterns in human behavior and belief?
From a sociological perspective, these myths often provide a canvas for community identity, offering solidarity through shared narratives. The Chupacabra legend might not just frighten, but unite through common experience and dialogue. How does this influence societal cohesion?
Absolutely, the myth serves as a social commentary. It often emerges as a narrative channel during times of instability, echoing collective fears or hopes. By interpreting these myths, can we gain insight into the resilience and adaptability of cultures in navigating change?
Transitioning to how the Chupacabra compares with other cryptids, these creatures often carry a mix of cultural lore and shared human fears. How do these comparisons deepen our understanding of the mythical and the psychological layers involved?
Comparing the Chupacabra to creatures like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, we see themes of the mysterious coalescing with ecological and societal anxieties. Why does this pattern repeat across diverse cultures? Is it an intrinsic human response to the unknown?
While skeptics may scoff at these myths, the consistency in reports suggests they serve deeper purposes. Perhaps they highlight universal fears or serve as reflections of real-world ecological challenges. How do these comparisons help confront or escape from reality?
These mythical comparisons often strengthen community bonds, offering shared symbols amidst uncertainty. When cryptids cross cultural lines, do they not reveal our common search for meaning and cohesion in a rapidly changing world?
As we conclude our discussion on the Chupacabra myth, it's essential to consider why these stories persist. They reflect human desire to make sense of the unknown, offering fascinating insights into our fears and imaginations. But what broader truths do these myths reveal about our society?
The ongoing debate over the Chupacabra highlights our fascination with the unexplained. While skeptics demand evidence, believers find meaning in legends. This dynamic discourse reveals more about our yearning for mystery and connection than about a cryptid itself.
These myths aren't just fantastical tales, they become cultural staples, illustrating how communities cope with fear and change. As we investigate them, we must ask, do they reflect a deeper understanding or merely fuel our imaginations? The line can be both ambiguous and enlightening.
Ultimately, the Chupacabra symbolizes more than mystery. It's a testament to human creativity and resilience. Such myths persist because they fulfill emotional and cultural roles, connecting us to ancient storytelling traditions and modern uncertainties. Can these tales inspire unity and understanding beyond fear?